Hello again, beautiful people. So I'm doing these little videos from a beautiful scenery, a little forest next to my dad's birthplace in the countryside of South Serbia, because here is where I am at the moment. And I just love the energy of nature. It is very grounding, it is very calming, it is very centered. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go for a walk and continue the journey and continue with my story. So after my diagnosis, I came home with my husband and I decided that it was time to understand what was happening in my life in the past 10, even 5 years before my illness came in. So the way I thought about it is with my analytical and a very curious mind, I wanted to see where I fell short, what emotions I didn't manage properly to lead me to diagnosis and to everything that I am about to go through. So one thing which is very important is in this, as I was kind of going through this journey, after I found out that I had the stage 3 astrocytoma, I thought to myself, there is a cure for this. I can feel it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm going to get to it. But with all my being, I felt there is something here that I can do. My body has created these cells. And if my body has created these cells, my body can help me cure them. I think for me, that was a very powerful kind of a statement. And more than a statement, it was a belief. It was a belief that there is something out there, that there is a higher power within me and all around me that can help me come to my healing. But that it was time for me to change, to step back, kind of a look through my life and see what are the things, where have I found the shortcomings. And interestingly enough, when I moved to Australia, even though I didn't really realize it, it was a big shock for me. I left everything that I knew and that I absolutely loved in the city of Madrid, where I felt like I was at home, and moved for love and for my husband all the way down. I was very far away from my family. I was very far away from my friends, which never bothered me in my life before. But the thing that did start to bother me was the fact that I couldn't find a job. And I had an easy life in Madrid. And here I felt like I had to start all over again. So clearly there is something in my mind which didn't click, which couldn't accept that there was a change coming, that I was supposed to change to be able to cope with the next challenge in my life. And I think that was kind of my first very big realization, is that, I kind of didn't change. I just went with the tide. And if work demanded more work, I was the first one to actually dig in. And if the events in my life transpired in such a way that I was angry, that I was upset, that I was resentful, that I was raging, I didn't address those emotions. I just kind of tucked them in deep inside of my body and my heart. And I actually didn't even realize how much that all changed me. And I was just thinking, it's a bad luck. Things are not going my way. Maybe I shouldn't have moved here. Maybe this wasn't my future, and so on and so forth. But, no one is doing this to us. I think the fact that I wasn't ready to change when the change was coming was something that got me. And obviously the mismanagement of my emotions. Then came my first pregnancy. My son was born in 2017. And that was another huge shock, not just to the body, but to my mind. Becoming the parent for the first time, not having my family around, community. That's what I was missing all along in my first years in Australia. I felt like I was taken out of the community where I felt safe, where I felt authentic, where I felt who I was, and changed into this almost robotic person with no kind of a heart and soul, and lost all of my positive energy. To add to it, as I mentioned, I became a mother. And that is a huge, huge step when you become a parent for the first time. Not having anyone, I was angry. I was really, really angry because my husband's parents didn't want to help. I mean, it's not that they didn't want to help, they actually couldn't help. They're elderly people who were not in a position to do it, and I struggled a lot. Struggled because I didn't want to accept that it's one of the best possible, beautiful experiences that you can have. But you do need a community. There is several different choices I could have made at the time, but me being a strong-headed woman, I decided not to bring my parents, not to bring any friends. I thought that I could do everything by myself. And I did. But it left a scar on my body, on my mind, and on my soul. Now, everyone knows what happened in 2020 with COVID coming in and us all being locked down and working from home. I think the pandemic presented many opportunities for us to connect with ourselves. And to a certain degree, it was probably, a call for me to do it. But I didn't. I kept running the same thing, like a mouse, like a rat, a hamster in the wheel. Every day was constantly the same. Same thoughts, same feelings, element of fear, everywhere around the world, and you could just feel it. And your body cannot survive that much stress continuously going on. In small doses, yes. But when it's all kind of coming down as a landslide, it needs a break. It needs to breathe. And I don't think I've let that happen. So naturally, my lesson came in 2022 when I, as I mentioned, found out my diagnosis. One of the things that I did was to write down everything that I thought could have caused it, and everything that happened in my life in the last 5 to 10 years, and figure out the way how to address it, how to heal it, what to do. Because I believe that doctors can help me, but I felt that only I can help heal myself. Love and light. Talk to you soon.